perspective, how do you overcome the psychological barriers around the word budget or a working budget and getting someone to look at maybe improving their financial fitness?
So you're absolutely right. It's a dreaded word, dreaded activity. Nobody wants to do it. But if we look at the money beliefs we talked about earlier, do we change our mindset from are we worried about what we're missing out on now, or are we worried about what we're missing out in the future? And does it mean making the most of your money so that you can live the best life rather than have regrets down the track?
Yeah. And look, there are so many tools out there. There's your banks have got great spending apps that use AI technology. They do some analysis of your transaction accounts. They can work out what's going on from like a bills perspective. They can categorize everything in. There's also some budgeting apps that you can get on your phone. You do need to spend some time syncing them, giving them permission to your accounts. They need to be trained. And then there's the good old-fashioned and extremely painful Excel spreadsheet. But just some of the basics we just want you to be aware of. First thing is you've got to consider is how much longer you're going to be in the workforce. What are your work intentions? Are you planning to work full-time or part-time? When do you plan to retire? Whether you want to move in and out part-time and whether you're ever going to stop working at all, and your family circumstances are also important. We've mentioned many times before the sandwich generation. Who's actually dependent on you? Do you have kids that are dependent on you that are still living at home? Potentially, do you have elderly parents that might need support from you in the future? Kat, from your perspective, what's a baseline or what's a simple tool that you can get your clients started on from looking at their budget?
Absolutely. So the budget tool that I really like people to look at, and it's all about giving current you the life that future you really wants. So I really like the Money Smart budget. That's the only one I've ever seen that includes everything from the hairdressers to the vet bills. You can download it and save it as an Excel document. It's just really comprehensive and breaks the spending down into different categories for you.
Okay, so we've actually got an example that I'm going to share just here, Kat. Just give me a second. So we can see that there's sort of two examples up on the screen here. Can you see that, Kat?
Yep.
Okay, so we can obviously see that this is the Money Smart budgeting calculator, but can you just kind of take us through sort of the different sections as I kind of just scroll down?
Yeah, absolutely. So income, that's all regular payments that are coming into the household. You can change the frequency of these from weekly, monthly, annually, and it just calculates it for you automatically, which I love. And then we go down into the household. So all the regular bills. And then we go to insurances. So car, health insurance, car loans, what the repayments are, and then groceries. So whether we just do everything at the one shop or split it across the fruit and veg shop, the deli, the bakery. Personal and medical, this is where I find there can be a big spends on, just depending on what stage of life you're at. And then entertaining and eating out is the one where we've got the most amount of leeway to make changes there. So, and then lastly, transport, auto and children. So it's got everything there from school fees to holidays to Christmas presents. Like I just don't think it misses too much at all. It covers off on majority of people's needs. And then it spits out down the bottom the chart of where everything's going for you. So it is a real visual for you.
You're right. And then it spits out the summary down here at the bottom. And what I just want to sort of draw everyone's attention to is there's a figure in red. And then it also sort of says here, you are spending more than you earn. So these are all the categories there, and it shows you sort of how much money is going into each one of these categories. So you obviously work with your clients to improve this situation. If we go to another sort of example, so can you talk us through sort of the key areas that you'd look at to try and pull back and get us into a surplus?
Yeah, absolutely. So in this one, we looked at utility providers. There's lots of streaming services that we all seem to have. Do we need them all? Reviewing the insurance providers, was able to save some money here, but the biggest saving for this particular person was in the entertaining and eating out. So we've gone from, instead of having coffee every day out or lunch every day out, to just once a week, and cutting back on the restaurants. All the holiday this year, cutting back on the, on the gifts, because is your 2-year-old really going to remember Tickle Me Elmo when they're older? Probably not. So just simplifying those sorts of things. And we've gone from a negative of 3 to a positive of 9. So that makes future goals are real achievable for them.